It was an exciting finish at the Wells Fargo Center Sunday afternoon as the Philadelphia Soul hung on to a 60-55 victory over the Iowa Barnstormers. Tonight we'll talk to wide receiver Tiger Jones about the game. Ron Jaworski will pay us a visit, and we'll bring you Lou Tilley's preview of next week's game against Pittsburgh. And we'll have a look at some of the innovations the league has brought to the game. Plus, Vinny the Crumb is back, this time to give us his unique perspective on Iowa. I'm Rhea Hughes. The Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore, is next.
Fifth touchdown of the night for Jared Ross on the strike, and it's a touchdown to Tiger Jones as the safety, and the Soul defense has it going right.
You want thrilling football, then you want Soul football. 7 lead changes in the Soul's win over Iowa, a classic arena football game. As Coach Clint Dolezal said, check out the highlights.
Another big turnout to see the Soul and the Barnstormers, and this one on national TV. And Tiger Jones would get the fans on their feet 5 times on his own. Starts off a big day with an 11-yarder from Dan Rotteball. But note, a blocked extra point afterwards. 2 missed on the day would prove pivotal in this game. Iowa's Carson Kaufman was on point all day, especially to Marco Thomas, here with 41 of his 158 yards on 8 grabs, and Iowa was up after a wild first, 21-20. In the second, Soul coach Clint Dolezal dials up Vakean Lacey's number and is finding new ways to utilize the 6'5", 230-pounder, this for 33 and the touchdown. And then getting it back with a fumble, it's Rotteball to the big guy again to push Philly to the front, 34-28 at the half. They led 34-31. A sizzling second half. Kaufman, who would complete 21 of 31 for 305.
Kaufman will keep it and score. Touchdown Iowa. They retake the lead.
Iowa 45, Soul 41, and put to the test. Rotteball would pass it in both senses in the fourth quarter using Jones. Here for the first of 3 fourth quarter Tiger Jones touchdowns. 48-45, Soul is dancing again. Kaufman comes back again to Reynolds again to put Iowa in front again, 52-48. Down the stretch, winding down to 2 minutes left, Rotteball finds Tiger. But another missed kick. It's Soul 54, Iowa 52, and here it turns. Dolezal elects to onside kick. Even with Iowa recovering, the coach wants to make sure there's enough time left for his team to win it. Sure enough, the solid Soul defense digs in and forces Iowa to go for a field goal. They make it. They lead 55-54, but there are 43 seconds left for the Soul to drive 35 yards. Rotteball starts throwing short darts for positive gains and to stop the clock. To Robert Red, again to Red. Now short to Lacey, and Lacey again to move it to the Iowa 6, but only 6 ticks left. Would there be enough time? Rotteball to Tiger Jones. Threads the needle for the win at the wire. A thriller as the Soul make it 3 in a row, 60-55, and a barn burner over the Barnstormers.
Well, since the Philadelphia Soul were playing the Iowa Barnstormers, who happen to have just a pretty famous guy who was on their roster at one time, figured we'd catch up with Soul president Ron Jaworski and ask him about Kurt Warner, future Hall of Famer, who got his start in the AFL. Ron, how can you tell us how that happened?
Rhea, Kurt Warner really changed the landscape of the Arena Football League because of his notoriety in the National Football League. And Dick Vermeil certainly had a lot to do with that because he recognized the skill set of Kurt Warner. Now, here's what's very interesting. Kurt Warner, like a lot of young quarterbacks that come into the National Football League, aren't quite prepared to play at the NFL level. They need some seasoning. They need to be on the field. Well, Kurt Warner got that seasoning, got that experience by playing in the Arena Football League with the Iowa Barnstormers. And as most people know, I reached out to Tim Tebow last year to join the Philadelphia Soul as one of our quarterbacks. Tim Tebow has NFL-type ability, but he needs time on the practice field. He needs time in games. Much like Kurt Warner, they just needed the experience of being on the field and leading a football team.
Well, Ron, what was the impact of Kurt's success in the AFL on the NFL?
The success that Kurt Warner had at the NFL really did help the Arena Football League. It put the Arena Football League on the map. And really what it did was allow coaches and scouts to really get a up-close and personal look at an arena player that comes to the National Football League. Now at all the Soul games, we have NFL scouts, personnel departments represented by every team around the National Football League. And just as a microcosm, take a look at the Philadelphia Soul over the last couple of years. Kent Richardson, one of our starting defensive backs, goes to the Cleveland Browns. Tiger Jones, one of the Soul wide receivers, goes to the last cut at the Philadelphia Eagles training camp. Christian Johnson, one of our starters a year ago, 2013, now with the Arizona Cardinals. So the fact that Kurt Warner showed that an Arena Football League player could make it to the NFL has really now allowed us to showcase our talent to NFL teams, coaches, and scouts.
Well, one of those coaches you know real well, Dick Vermeil, and as coach of the St. Louis Rams in 1999, he stated, "We'll rally around Kurt Warner and we'll play good football," before ever seeing Warner work with the Rams starting offense. What is it that Vermeil knew about Warner that pretty much nobody else knew about?
Dick Vermeil obviously had a large part of the success of Kurt Warner in the National Football League. But Dick Vermeil loves football. And I know Dick Vermeil always told his scouts, scour the countryside. Every league you can find, look for talented football players. Dick Vermeil made it crystal clear he wanted to find guys like Kurt Warner. And really what that has done, it has helped develop quarterbacks at our league, at the Arena Football League level. Arena Football League quarterbacks are getting better. They know there's always a chance. There's another Dick Vermeil out there that's going to see a quarterback that has the same skill set of a Kurt Warner, the quick release, the throwing at different angles, the touch passes you have to have, the ability to avoid the rush quickly. All those physical attributes are needed in the Arena Football League, and those are the same skills needed to have success at the NFL level, Rhea.
All right, thanks, Ron. And we know, Dick Vermeil had a bit of an eye for talent. He kind of picked up a guy named Vince Papale that they just happened to make a pretty great movie about called Invincible. All right, the Philadelphia Soul will face the Pittsburgh Power for Week 8 on Saturday, but return to the Wells Fargo Center Saturday, May 10th against the New Orleans Voodoo. Purchase the Soul Spring Mini Pack and take in 3 games. You'll see the Soul take on the Voodoo and then the Storm and then the Talons. That's 1 ticket for 3 games, a hot dog, soda, and popcorn for each, and a bobblehead doll for just $89. Go to PhiladelphiaSoul.com for details.
The Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore, is sponsored by Pro Systems. Pro Systems Audio, one of Philadelphia's finest audio, video, and lighting contracting firms. By Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy. And by the Judge Group and Judge Unified Communications, designing, developing, deploying, and managing advanced technologies for clients across the globe.
Scott, he do a great job for us, whether it be, the steak meat, the lobster, everything is our own brand. It's a testimonial to Foods Galore.
Service is what's made our company. Loyalty, reliability, honesty. Your growth was one of the main reasons why I evolved in the business.
People look at Chicky and Pete's as a success story, but it's actually your success story. It works just like a marriage, because I still have my wife and I still have you.
People are having a hard time believing Equus owners these days. You see, when you own an Equus, you get complimentary maintenance. And our valet picks up the car, drops off a loaner, and brings your Equus right back when it's ready. That's complimentary too. That's right. You better believe it. The Equus from Hyundai.
Oh, good idea. No.
Ready for a little fun? You could scratch your way to instant winning. Play the Pennsylvania Lottery's new instant game, Money Money Millionaire. With 5 top prizes of $1 million, it's kind of fun to cook something up. keep on scratching.
It's the Hyundai Drive Your Way Drive of the Game.
Welcome back to Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore. Now, the Soul's thrilling win over the Iowa Barnstormers on Sunday night would not have been possible without our next guest, wide receiver Tiger Jones. Tiger, welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
All right, now you had 7 catches on Sunday night. 5 went for touchdowns. I'm just wondering why we didn't get 7 for 7 on touchdowns.
Oh, man, if I could have it at those 2 again, I'd probably try to take them all the way to the house.
The last, can you run through the last touchdown, the game winner, which came, with about, I want to say 3 seconds left, what you guys talked about in the huddle and how that play came about?
Well, I mean, in arena football, you want to have the ball last. You want to be the last team that scores and not give the opposite team more than 1 or 2 plays to score. And we went down and did a great job, Dan, taking the check downs and getting the ball down the field. Receivers making the catches, getting out of bounds, and with enough time left. And we went the last play, figured they'd give us a look for that play, and we executed it.
Now, what Soul fans got treated to 5 different times on Sunday was your unique touchdown dances. Now, are these pre-planned or are they just kind of spur of the moment for you?
There's some of them pre-planned, but some spur depending on how many I catch. But it's just like you get paid on Friday. When you work all week, you want to go celebrate, and when you score a touchdown, it's like getting paid. So you got to celebrate.
It's like happy hour, right? I
Yeah,
love that.
gotta
It's beautiful. Can you explain when and if we're ever going to see the bobsled again? And if you can explain to people what that is and if fans are going to get a chance, because that's one of your more fun ones.
A couple of the guys have been vying for the bobsled to come back. We might have to bring it back on one of the TV games or something.
So basically that's you kind of in the middle and they're, on the side, like in front and behind you, like you're in an actual bobsled?
Yeah, bobsled just like they do in the Olympics. I start the car off and you just get a couple guys behind me, we push it off and get it going, and then we go.
There you go. Cool. It's just like Cool Runnings all over again.
Yeah, just like Cool Runnings.
All right, you've been in the league, Tiger, for 5 years. You've played in Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Dallas, and Georgia. What makes Philadelphia unique, just in terms of the city and its fans in terms of football?
Man, everybody knows Philly fans for their sports, and they really get behind every sport. It don't matter if it's minor leagues or all the way up to the Eagles, and they just love sports here, and it's fun to play for them, and it's just been a great experience to be here.
You are fearless with your body. You kind of attack the wall like it's another defender trying to steal the ball from you. You don't worry about injuries at all with that?
No, I mean, you're out there just playing, trying to make plays for your team and for the fans, and Dan puts it up. I just got to go get it, and the wall's coming. The wall is coming. You know it's going to be a big-time collision. And I always say it doesn't hurt as bad if you make the catch.
It's a lot easier. All right, in 2012, you were the last cut in the Philadelphia Eagles camp. And they didn't basically, that year the Soul went to the playoffs, but they didn't have you for the run. Was it tough because you're in an NFL camp, but the team you've been with all year also is going through the playoffs? Yeah,
it was hard, definitely a catch-22. But, guys like Ron Jaworski and the team was behind me 100% and wanted me to go and make a name for myself and try to move up.
All right, I want to thank Tiger Jones for joining us. The first player in pro football history, I'm talking NFL, AFL, to have 3 consecutive 2,000-yard seasons. Our guest on Soul Insider. Now we want to bring in Lou Tilley, who will be calling Saturday's game, the Soul game, in Pittsburgh against the Power, 7 p.m. Saturday night on the Comcast Network.
Thanks, Rhea. Yeah, we'll take it back from the national networks this weekend. Right here on the Comcast Network, you'll be able to watch Game 7 of the Soul season coming up in Pittsburgh at 7 o'clock Saturday night on the Comcast Network. Tom Goodhines will join me. First, let's look back, though, to a couple of really important things that came out of last weekend in the win over Iowa. First of all, it was a divisional win, and that's critical right now if the Soul are to get back into the Arena Bowl, into the championship game for a 3rd straight year, because you've got to go through your division first. I'll come back to that in a moment, but it was a very important win and their first one in the division. Also, it was their third win in a row to get back to 500 on the season. Now, this was an early season big story when the Soul came out of the box with 3 losses in a row on that brutal start to the season on the road at Arizona, at San Jose, at Tampa Bay before they finally won in Orlando. One guy who was not surprised, though, to see the Soul turn it around was with us this past weekend at the Wells Fargo Center. He's the commissioner of the AFL, Jerry Kurz. Yeah, the man with the beard. He's been around since the very beginning, 27 years, and he was our guest in the Lou Tilley Media Suite. Talked about some of the changes coming for the AFL, the increased television exposure for one thing, but for another thing, not surprised to see the Soul turning it around.
No, and I don't know what it is, but that's not that unusual. And a lot of it sometimes comes down to no preseason games, really, but not worried at all. Not with the way that Clint coaches, how this organization's put together. Wasn't worried at all.
Take a look at the divisional standings. This is what I was talking about. And look at the very top there. Cleveland, undefeated. And the Soul won't see them for a couple of weeks still. So this game coming up in Pittsburgh, look at the stack right there with the Soul, Pittsburgh, and Iowa all at 3-3. That's coming up Saturday night, and you can see it live right here on the Comcast Network at 7 o'clock. Tom Goodhines and I will give you the call. Now, Pittsburgh, much improved. Their last 2 losses have come against the only 2 undefeated teams in the AFL, Arizona. Now, you'll remember that the Soul opened their season in Arizona. This is the team they met in the Arena Bowl the last 2 years, and the Soul losing again as they lost the lead with 8 seconds in regulation and then lost in overtime. Well, Pittsburgh only lost to Arizona by 3 points also, and then Pittsburgh lost to Cleveland when they fell behind 21-0 right out of the box when Cleveland forced 2 consecutive defensive turnovers by Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh much improved. The heart of Utah's team last year, that franchise went under. Coach Ron Power and quarterback Tommy Grady are now in Pittsburgh, and Grady can be really hot or really cold, so the Soul will try to get after him with defensive pressure early on and try to do what Cleveland did. That's coming up Saturday night. The Soul on the road at Pittsburgh. I'll have the call along with Tom Goodhines on the Comcast Network at 7 o'clock. Rhea?
All right, thanks, Lou. And bring your group of 10 or more out to a Soul game. Find out how your group can play on the Soul field, perform at the game in front of thousands of Soul fans, or high-five the players as they head to the field to play the game. Go to PhiladelphiaSoul.com for more details. After the break, we'll hear from Vinny the Crumb with a segment we call Vinny's Crumbs. This week, Vinny has a few words to say about Iowa when we return to the Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore.
How can the Judge Group help your business? By providing you with effective business technology solutions. By recruiting the finest personnel to meet your unique business needs. By providing corporate training, learning, and performance support solutions. And unified communications, voice and video system design and engineering. With over 30 offices in the U.S., Canada, and Asia, the Judge Group, a global leader in professional services since 1970.
No one else can do what Colonial Marble and Granite can do. We've revolutionized the way you buy your granite countertops. Colonial Marble and Granite, the nation's leading granite countertop fabricator. Visit our King of Prussia showroom today and see how easy, beautiful, and affordable your countertops can be. Professional, courteous service, unbeatable prices, just $19.99 installed. No one else can beat Colonial Marble and Granite. Visit us online at colonialmarble.net.
People are having a hard time believing Equus owners these days. You see, when you own an Equus, you get complimentary maintenance. And our valet picks up the car, drops off a loaner, and brings your Equus right back when it's ready. That's complimentary too. That's right. You better believe it. The Equus from Hyundai.
Hi, I'm Tony Mitchell, Brinker Simpson & Company, Certified Public Accountants. We offer comprehensive financial compliance and tax services. As Philadelphia's leading tax and advisory firm, we let our clients say it best.
Tony and his team at Brinker Simpson provided the expertise of a large accounting firm, but didn't forget their small business roots.
Brinker Simpson has a clear business vision that looks beyond spreadsheets and numbers and sees opportunities.
At Brinker Simpson, firm relationships build success.
Welcome back to Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore. I am Rhea Hughes, and I am joined by Vinny the Crumb with Vinny's Crumbs on Iowa.
Thank you, Rhea. Yo, it's Vinny the Crumb, and here's what I think. The Barnstormers were in from Iowa yesterday and saw how we do things here in civilization. Can somebody tell me how anyone can take a state that's named after a Saturday afternoon kung fu movie seriously? Please. What do we know about Iowa? Nothing. No one knows where it is. I had to look it up, and it turns out that Iowa is the creamy center between two vacation meccas, Illinois and Nebraska. It's flat, there's corn, and I'd rather pick lint out of a fat girl's belly button and knit a sweater with it than live there. And what is it with the goggles on their helmets? Are they for real? It must be Halloween every day in Iowa. The Soul did manage to snap their propellers, though, in a nail-biting 60-55 victory. Next up for the Soul, it's the Pittsburgh Power. Yawn. The Power is like the Soul, 3-3, but we on the upswing, yo, and they on the downslope, losing their last two. New to the Power this season is QB Tommy Grady. Yeah, more like Grady from Sanford and Son, maybe. Tom came fresh out of Utah, where he led the league in Stinko last year. This cat graduated from the Vinny Testaverde School of Quarterbacks. In fact, Tommy Boy was the valedictorian leading the league in interceptions last year with 28. Way to go, kid. Listen, cuz, just because your name is almost Tom Brady doesn't mean you're going to play like him. And this week, the Soul plans to come into your house and help you continue your downward spiral with a victory. That's Vinny the Crumb, and that's what I think.
Hey, Vinny, does Tom Brady's wife look anything like Tom Brady's wife?
I don't know. I never saw Tom Brady's wife.
See, these are the things this is called analysis, Vinny. These are the things that you have to work on digging deeper into the game.
Oh, I see.
If Tom Brady sounds like Tom Brady, you got to check out what the wife looks like. Just saying.
I'll
That's all
just
I'm
know
saying.
for next time. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Vinny. Now, coming up, Arena League has a new toy that they're kind of rolling out this year, and Soul General Manager Tom Goodhines gives us a look at it.
Thank you, Rhea. And the thing that you notice this year for the Arena Football League is that they use Shut Vision, which is a helmet that is now new technology for the Arena Football League. In the first year, it allows the viewer to be able to see the action on the field through the eyes of the defender. In this case, it'll be Rayshon Kaiser. And the technology is very simple. The camera is on the crown of the helmet, which allows you to capture the view of the player wearing the helmet. Inside is where the battery pack is kept behind these pads. And then on the back, that is where the chip is. The chip is in the back of the helmet. And at the beginning of the game, you basically turn on the chip, which will allow you to record the footage. And then when you need the footage, you hit the button to take out the chip, and then you take the chip and put it in your computer to be able to take the footage and translate it to your computer and then use it for in-game action from the view of the player. And Rayshon Kaiser is the Philadelphia Soul player who wears this technology to give the viewer that view. Rayshon is a three-time All-Arena performer. Last year was second-team All-Arena. He holds the league record for single-season interceptions with 16. So the view you get from him is an All-Arena look.
All right, thanks, Tom. This is the actual helmet that he was showing you there that Kaiser was wearing. It's got the kind of little lens in here. It's got everything inside there. So we kind of went from inside the mind of Vinny the Crumb to inside the helmet of the Philadelphia Soul. A little inside action. A birthday party like no other. Celebrate your big day in a big way, in a club box, at a Soul game. Birthday packs include 3 free tickets for mom, dad, and the birthday kid, face painting, Soul Man, and much more. Call the Soul at 888-789-SOUL for more details. After the break, we'll return with a look ahead to the next Soul game. Some closing thoughts and words from you, the fan, when we return to the Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore.
Bradford White Water Heaters. American made, American owned, built to be the best. Why would you buy any other brand? Visit BradfordWhite.com to find a contractor near you.
Scott, he do a great job for us, whether it be, the steak meat, the lobster, everything is our own brand. It's a testimonial to Foods Galore.
Service is what's made our company loyalty, reliability, honesty. Your growth was one of the main reasons why I evolved in the business.
People look at Chicky and Pete's as a success story, but it's actually your success story. It works just like a marriage. Because I still have my wife and I still have you.
Soul fans, here's your chance to win the ultimate tailgate prize package. The Soul and your neighborhood Walgreens has your chance to win. Every month, you can win a 50-inch flat-screen TV, Soul tailgate grill, table, chairs, and coolers. Plus, you and 10 of your friends get to go to a Soul game VIP style in an all-you-can-eat club box. Get to Walgreens now and visit the Soul Zone. A new winner is selected every month. Brought to you in part by Canada Dry, Smart Water, Good Health Natural, Utz, Red Bull, Stop Pain, Coca-Cola, and Peanut Chews. No purchase necessary. Please see website for complete rules and regulations.
Here's the Colonial Marble rock-solid player of the game.
Welcome back to Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore. And we've got the Soul at the Pittsburgh Power, Saturday, May 3rd at 7 p.m. Catch it, Lou Tilley with the call on the Comcast network. Now, we've got some viewer feedback, Facebook comments. Aaron C. Wright asked, do the Soul have walk-ons? And the answer to that is yes. They have open tryouts twice a year, generally in October and January. Got a player on the team right now who's a walk-on, Ryan McDaniels. So the answer to that question is a definitive yes. All right, our next question from William Ransom. Why did the Soul kick an onside kick at the end of the game? Well, here's the deal, is you always want the ball last in arena football. So they kicked the onside kick, going to play solid defense, no penalties, and if they do score, you'll still have enough time on the clock for them to get downfield, which obviously the Soul executed perfectly to win the game on Sunday. I want to thank everybody for joining us on this edition of Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore. Enjoy the game on Saturday and join us next week for another edition of Soul Insider.
The Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore, is sponsored by Pro Systems, Pro Systems Audio, one of Philadelphia's finest audio, video, and lighting contracting firms. By Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy. And by the Judge Group and Judge Unified Communications, designing, developing, deploying, and managing advanced technologies for clients across the globe.